All right, folks, we are definitely turning up on a Tuesday, November 28, 2023. Markets are back up. If we're looking at crypto, looking at gold, looking at silver, DXY dollar index down, and we love to see that. But what's exciting to see is that Ripple has been selling off XRP strategically to banks and institutions around the world. So in today's video, we're going to be confronting some of that FUD, some of the, what the XRP haters love to say, that Ripple's dumping on us. Well, actually, if you go look at what's been taking place in the SEC's own words, Ripple has only been selling XRP strategically to their on-demand liquidity partners. And similar to what we're seeing with XRP, right now we're actually seeing big whales front-running the Bitcoin ETF, massive positions being accumulated, tens of thousands of Bitcoin being acquired, similar to billions of XRP being acquired by institutions like R3 and others. So an exciting time to be in the cryptocurrency space. We're going to get right on into today's update because the market is turning up. Let's take a look. Starting off here, we are looking at our Bitcoin back up to 37,800, pushing towards that 38K level once again. Very exciting. Ethereum back up to 2,056. Good stuff. XRP back up to 61 cents. And XLM, a little bit of life there, 1179. Like I said, the DXY back down, 102,658. Back down to 102 for the DXY. And the Treasury bonds getting smacked today as well. And as I've been saying, who wants to buy this crap anyways? I'm surprised to see these actually going down because 4.76% for 2-year, no thanks. And for the 10-year, 4.3%, no thanks, no thanks. I think I'll stick to my silver and my XRP, but unbelievable to see as we watch the market correct here, coming back to quality right now. Oil back up to $81 and silver pushing towards $25. Absolutely love to see it. $25 per ounce silver coming in hot, and our gold just about 1% away from all-time high in US dollar terms. Remember, gold is already trading back at all-time high in multiple, actually over half a dozen other major currencies, and so we just absolutely love to see it. Now, what's happening here for our stocks? Back down for the Nvidia, S&P basically back up, and Dow Jones back up. Okay, good stuff. Nvidia, though, a little bit of life taken out of that one. Okay, and the overall cryptocurrency market cap back up to 1.395 trillion. So some of our favorites pumping, and you guys already know the deal. If you're looking to get your precious metals, you can find it all at my website, zachrector.com, along with our crypto exchanges and wallets, all of the community resources. And if you want to get in touch with me, it can be a verified connection. You don't have to worry about these dang scammers. Just go to my website at zachrector.com. Right on into the update. And this is pure crypto today for you guys because we're pumping, we're moving, and we got big deals to talk about. Take a look. Now, talking about a deal that didn't go too well, the European Central Bank President Christine Lagarde's son lost almost all his money invested in crypto. So it's being reported Christine Lagarde, she has a son here, I guess, that's invested in crypto is the story, how it goes. And he's not doing so well on those investments. So I hope that Christine Lagarde and her son have maybe picked up some XRP in anticipation of this next bull run, and maybe they can make back some of those gains. Now, on a serious note, when it comes to where this is going, folks, without a doubt, we are in the right spot. South Korea preps 100,000 person strong CBDC pilot. It is inevitable. The central bank digital currencies are already here. Everything about our money is already digital. In the United States, we will be putting up a significant fight against CBDC. But just to reiterate the point on where we're at, right? We've gotten in front of this tidal wave of liquidity that's coming in. It's getting tokenized. It's going to move on DLT. We're talking derivatives. We're talking securities. We're talking bonds. We're talking real estate. We're talking everything of value, including pudgy penguins. And we are seeing right now that the whales are absolutely front running this thing. Take a look. Excuse me, folks. Take a look right here at Bitcoin whales scooping up 11,500 Bitcoin for $430 million this week. Now, this was shared just a couple days ago, okay? And this is one whale who's acquired 11,500 Bitcoin, spending $430 million this week. Now, you guys know me. I'm not really a fan of Bitcoin. I'm not here for Bitcoin. I don't hold Bitcoin. And it's not that I want to see Bitcoin go down. I don't need to see it fall. What's good for Bitcoin is mostly good for crypto, and especially XRP with legal clarity. So this point that we're making, though, in this video here today is that what you're seeing right now is that the institutions are front running, and they've been front running. See, it's not just this whale during this past week that's bought 11,500 Bitcoin. You have other whales, you have other institutions that have definitely got exposure and acquired these assets. But here's the thing with the spot ETFs is they actually need to hold the cryptocurrency or the underlying asset before they can launch their ETF. So that's kind of the speculation that we're seeing right here, is that big whales and institutions are picking up this Bitcoin, the Ethereum, and probably some XRP too, in anticipation of launching these ETFs. Now, another one here shared by Chad Steingraber, and this is a response to Plan B, who's a big Bitcoin bro, right? In my opinion, ETFs like BlackRock are currently front-loading Bitcoin through miners instead of exchanges. Buying BTC directly on exchanges would impact price too much. Buying indirectly from miners would impact hash rate, but not so much price. So this is kind of what we're looking at with the XRP escrow as well too. Chad says they can buy indirectly or over the counter, but this can only happen for so long before they run out of options. Once they have, once they only have the public supply to choose from, they'll launch the ETFs and then start buying more off the public. This starts the price moving up. And so similar to the XRP escrow, right? Institutions can go get exposure to XRP through a pre-allocation contract with Ripple and say, hey, we want to earmark 1 billion XRP for us. Or we'll talk about the R3 deal maybe a little bit later too. R3 wanted 5 billion XRP, and they got an options contract for 3 years from 2016 to 2019 to buy 5 billion XRP at under a penny. Talk about a deal of the decade. Talk about a deal of the century. I mean, unbelievable. But the point being here with the Bitcoin deal, the only way to do it is over the counter for it not to be tracked on exchanges, or to go directly to the miners and say, hey, right from your computer into my wallet is where this Bitcoin's going. And they might even be willing to pay a little bit of a premium for that too, right? That convenience. And I believe that the same thing has been happening with XRP on a massive scale behind the scenes too, with Ripple allocating XRP and escrow to these institutions as well. So T's Crypto shared this point. When you get discouraged about banks not acquiring and holding crypto significantly, remember custody platforms are needed to aid in this right. Pay attention to who's dealing with institutional grade custody platforms, acquiring them and using them, smiley face. It will come in due course. And obviously he's alluding to Medico, the acquisition by Ripple. So if they aren't ready to hold it, you just get a pre-allocation contract, an options contract. That's one way to get exposure without having to take custody of it. But now that Ripple has acquired Medico, you can just slide in your allocation right into your institutional grade custody wallet at Medico, and your bag is secure. Just like HSBC just chose Medico for their tokenized gold offering as well. So this is happening in real time. We're not just talking about this. We're not just dreaming about this. One of the largest banks in the world, HSBC, already chose Medico, and that was after Ripple acquired them. So it's not like they got into this deal, without knowledge that Ripple owned them. No, they got in after Ripple had already acquired Medico. And for all intents and purposes, Medico is Ripple now, just so we're clear. And just because you can't see it on chain, or just because you can't see the transaction, doesn't mean it's not happening, because you have over-the-counter markets. Very popular way for institutions to, trade is over-the-counter, which basically means behind the scenes. So it's not publicly tracked on the exchanges. And we already know about the pre-allocation contracts that have been going on since 2016 and earlier, right? So don't be discouraged just because you can't track it on chain that Ripple sent XRP to Bank of America. That does not mean that Bank of America doesn't already have a position with XRP. Now, as we're noting here with Medico, we have an article here shared by Wrath of Kahneman about Medico's effect on Ripple. Notes Medico CEO saying, quote, the adoption of Ripple and Medico solutions further promotes the adoption of the XRPL as a protocol. Every success of Ripple, the company, is also a success for the XRP ledger. Now, I recall Brad Garlinghouse saying that the XRP is the heartbeat of Ripple. So for those that try to say that Ripple doesn't care about XRP, they're just using it to dump on us, it couldn't be further from the truth. Every success of Ripple, the company, is also a success of the XRP ledger, and that is from the CEO of Medico. Key deal right there, that piece of infrastructure that they just added, that acquisition of Medico, so massive, so important. Now, looking out here at Ripple partners, what are we seeing across the board? They're all growing. They're all acquiring their competition. They're all firing up new corridors. And as we see in the case here with Travelex Bank out of Brazil, which is the first foreign exchange and payment service provided by the central bank, or approved by the central bank, I should say. And if you recall, the Central Bank of Brazil was having an emergency meeting with Ripple back in 2020, 2021, I believe. So the connections with Brazil go deep. And actually, we heard from Uphold CEO Simon McLaughlin just last week that they're about to fire up a corridor with Brazil as well. They already fired up the corridor between the US and the UK, and the US and Europe. And after he posted that, I said, okay, guys, it's just a matter of time before they fire up on-demand liquidity between the United States and UK, between the United States and Europe, and then here soon it'll be between the United States and Brazil. It's about to go live, okay? And Uphold's providing that last mile, that off-ramp for a bank to come set up and build an account on Uphold, use XRP for settlement, and then receive payout in whatever currency they need to receive payout in. Such a critical part, this strategic partnership with Uphold. Now, Brazil, this is the first foreign exchange and payment service approved by the central bank for Ripple Payments XRP. They have already served 5 million customers, and they have gained 10 new clients through Ripple's network. See, this is the power of getting tapped in. This is the power of the Ripple network, right? And it's companies that are not using XRP yet, but as we know, all it takes is one little flip of the switch for Ripple partners to start settling in XRP when they're ready. If they want to save money, if they want to free up capital, this is how you do it. You just ask Ripple, hey, can we start moving this flow to ODL? And we've been waiting for regulatory clarity, obviously, in the United States. Now we have it. And now we have the partnership in Uphold to provide for that. Now, as we titled this video, so important, all of the XRP FUD, all of the haters, what do they always say? Ripple's just dumping XRP on you. They don't care about you. They're using you. You guys are pawns in Ripple's game. And basically they don't care about XRP. Well, they have been selling XRP, but if we take a closer look, and if we look at the words of the SEC themselves in the court document, they quote here directly that they have been selling XRP only in connection with on-demand liquidity transactions. This post here shared by Kashta, another incredible, very important document and reminder. Thank you, Kashta. Note that the SEC affirms here that Ripple sales are only via on-demand liquidity transactions, and they've sold about 3 billion net since the lawsuit. Use these facts when confronted by the FUD, and that's exactly what we are doing. And I've already been talking about this, right? That I didn't need the SEC's own documents. We were already pulling the quarterly reports from Ripple where they were saying, yeah, ever since the lawsuit got dropped, we are only selling XRP to on-demand liquidity institutions and partners. It's only to facilitate on-demand liquidity. And so that's what Ripple's been up to. So for those that want to say, oh, they're dumping on you, no, they're strategically selling XRP to banks and institutions and payment providers around the world to build out the ecosystem. And what happens when you partner with Ripple? Well, as we just covered in the Travelex deal, 10 new clients gained through Ripple's network, 5 million customers served. And this is just one case study. Go look at the other hundreds of partners and institutions that they're working with. And as we've been noting here, similar to what we're seeing with the Bitcoin, are they front running? Are they going to the Bitcoin miners to buy directly to kind of mask their transactions? Yes, absolutely. Have institutions been going to Ripple to get their allocation of XRP and kind of hide their allocation? Absolutely. Going all the way back to 2016. Never will forget this deal. One of the biggest deals that we've seen. And it confirms so much of what we've been running with for an investment thesis, that these institutions or banks already have exposure to XRP. They already have some earmarked. And if R3 went to get 5 billion XRP in 2016, you want to lead me to believe that Ripple hasn't done any other deals like that since, right? I mean, and we know that since the lawsuit that they've only been selling it in direct to on-demand liquidity partners. Now, what's interesting about this too, is that means that we haven't really been able to track where the XRP is going. We know it's going to on-demand liquidity partners. We get to see the public announcements as they make that, Travelex is now using on-demand liquidity. Tranglo's fired up a new corridor, right? But we haven't been able to track. Tranglo has acquired 1 billion XRP. Travelex has acquired 500 million XRP. We haven't been able to track that necessarily. What we have been able to see is that the flows out of the escrow, the $1 billion per month has been coming out. And on average, over the past few years, about 70 to 80% of it has been going back to escrow. But then they're taking about, 100, 200 million XRP per month, and they've been strategically selling it in relation to on-demand liquidity. And we haven't been able to track where it goes from there. Now, by the time we get to figure out where that XRP is going, by the time the veil's been lifted, do you think we're still going to be at a 60-cent XRP? Let me know in the comments down below if you appreciate this update, and when you need to go confront the XRP FUD, you can use the SEC's own words, their own documents and proof in your defense. So if you appreciate the update, make sure we smash that thumbs up on the way out. I got additional content coming later today. And if you missed the update this morning, we talked about real estate update dropped. Maybe I'll put the link up right here for you guys. And on the way out, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell. Everything is at my website, zachrector.com. God bless you all.